Nico's world was one of secret conversations. He didn't talk much to the other children in the village. Their games were too loud, their words too fast. Nico's friends were the trees, and his best conversations happened with his feet planted firmly on the forest floor. He was a web walker, born with the rare gift of feeling the hum of the world beneath the world, the whispering web. Beneath the soil, a vast glowing network of mycelium connected everything. It was the forest's heart and mind, a tapestry of shimmering threads that carried news, food, and feelings. Nico could feel the thirsty plea of a young sapling, and in response feel the great mother oak nearby send a pulse of life-giving sugar through the web. He could feel the joyful burst of light from a patch of moss that had just been touched by the sun. To Nico, this constant, gentle hum was the most beautiful sound in the world. It meant no one was ever truly alone. One morning, the hum felt wrong. In a familiar section of the web, there was a patch of nothing, a gnawing silence where a vibrant chorus should have been. Nico pressed his hands to the ground and felt a cold emptiness. Above this dark patch, the very oak tree that was usually so generous stood with its leaves tinged a sickly yellow, its branches drooping in isolation. The hush, as he instantly named it, was terrifying. Just then, a frantic zipping noise buzzed past his ear. It was Flicker, a firefly whose tail light was usually a brilliant beacon. Now it was a sad, sputtering gray. "It's gone! It's gone!" Flicker chirped, his voice a high-speed panic. "My glow! The moss I get it from went dark. All dark. No light, no glow, no point." Nico looked from the sputtering firefly to the wilting oak. It was the same spot. "The web is broken there," Nico whispered, his voice as soft as moss. "The hush is spreading." Flicker stopped zipping. "Broken? Then we have to fix it. I know all the root tunnels. You can feel the problem. I can get us there. Come on! Come on!" With Flicker as his anxious guide, Nico found an old hollow log that led deep into the earth. They stepped into the breathtaking world of the whispering web. Tunnels of earth and root were lit by the soft, ethereal glow of the mycelial threads that lined every surface. Pulses of blue, green, and gold light traveled along the strands like thoughts, but soon they reached the first patch of the hush. The threads were dark and limp. The air was cold. The silence was so complete it felt like a sound in itself. "We must go to Mother Fungus," Nico said, his voice barely a whisper in the oppressive quiet. They journeyed for what felt like miles, through glowing caverns and past shimmering mushroom groves, the patches of darkness becoming more frequent. Finally, they reached the heart of the forest. Here stood Mother Fungus, a mushroom so immense and ancient, its cap brushed the top of the vast cavern, glowing with a soft, pearlescent light. It did not speak, but as Nico approached, a wave of warmth and understanding washed over him. He felt its deep sadness about the hush. Mother Fungus sent him a vision, not of a monster or a villain, but a clear, heartbreaking image. A small, furry creature with enormous, sad eyes, huddled alone in the dark. In its paws, it clutched a tangled knot of glowing mycelium threads, ripped from the web. The feeling that came with the image was not malice, but a loneliness so deep it ached. Nico understood. He knew what he had to do. Flicker, guided by the memory of the vision, led them to a large, dark cavern far from the main pathways. The hush was strongest here. The only light came from dozens of small burrows carved into the cavern walls. Inside each one sat a small mole-like creature, a Grom, clutching its own personal ball of stolen light. They didn't look at each other. They only stared into their weakly glowing nests, their large eyes filled with a profound sadness. They had taken the light to cure their loneliness, but in doing so, had only created more of it. Nico's heart ached for them. They weren't thieves. They were just lost. He didn't shout or charge in. He simply sat down on the cold stone floor. He found a single, loose strand of the web that was still faintly glowing and held the end of it. He looked at the nearest Grom, a tiny creature huddled by its burrow, and gently pulsed a feeling through the strand. Not a word, but a feeling of warmth, of shared quiet, of a hand offered in friendship. The Grom looked up, its big eyes blinking in the dim light. It hesitated, then tentatively reached out a small paw and touched the glowing thread. The moment it did, a pulse of warm light flowed from Nico's strand into the Grom's tangled ball. The Grom's light didn't dim, it flared, becoming brighter and warmer. The creature let out a soft, surprised squeak. For the first time, a real shared connection had been made. Seeing this, Nico gently pushed his strand toward the next burrow. The first Grom, understanding now, nudged its own ball of light forward, allowing a thread to connect with its neighbor. As the two nests were joined, the light between them became a brilliant, beautiful arc, stronger than the two lights had been apart. A murmur of soft chirps rippled through the cavern. One by one, the Groms began to emerge, weaving their hoarded strands back together, reconnecting their lonely islands of light into the magnificent, shimmering whole. With every new connection, the cavern grew brighter, the air grew warmer, and the terrible hush retreated. Suddenly, a brilliant green light zipped through the air. "I'm back!" Flicker shouted, doing a joyful loop-de-loop. His glow was brighter and stronger than ever before.
From that day on, the Groms were no longer hoarders of light, but its keepers. They became the tenders of the great web, nurturing the connections and ensuring the forest's heart beat strong and steady. Nico returned to the surface, the full, harmonious hum of the whispering web rising through the soles of his feet. The great oak tree was already lifting its branches, a healthy green returning to its leaves. Nico took a deep breath of the forest air. He still preferred the company of trees, but he no longer felt lonely. He was a part of the web, and its whispers assured him that he and everyone else was connected in a beautiful, glowing, and unbreakable symphony of life.